Name your first mentor, and whoever wants to answer.
Magic Tom. He pulled an egg out of my ear. He was on TV. He had his own TV show, so he's the guy. And it turns out he was born next door in Brockville. And then he moved to Montreal because I think his father died. Anyway, he moved to Montreal to live with his aunt and uncle. But he was born in Brockville, which is right next door to us. So that's pretty wild.
Very cool.
I have to say Siegfried and Roy, because I met them when I was working in the theme park in Germany, because they had just written their book. One in now I'm dating myself, anyway, 92. And so I just loved it. And that they were the first ones I met as like the big stars in magic that have made it successfully in Vegas. And as being a dancer in a magic show at the time, it was just for me phenomenal. So it was definitely Siegfried and Roy.
That's awesome. Most watched childhood magic special or routine?
I watched David Copperfield a million times. Not one routine in particular, but I just loved everything he did, and I still do. And in fact, we just saw him perform, I guess, 2 years ago, and he was fantastic. It was a great experience.
For me, it was the Pendragons, but I was not a childhood. My childhood was, of course, all focused in dance.
Right.
But it was more as an adult, and as an adult, I love the Pendragons because of their energy and their speed, and I have a lot of energy and speed myself. So,
Strangest place you've been asked to perform magic?
A strip club.
Really?
Yeah. And there was no microphone stand. They don't have mic stands in strip clubs. So one of the dancers was holding the microphone. And at the time I was performing the Terry Seabrook cigarette and jacket routine. So I'm an English guy in a French strip club with a dancer holding the microphone. And I asked to borrow a cigarette. So maybe 24 lit cigarettes were floating onto the stage. Yeah. And, but I survived and I got paid, and they did, we did have a good time. Yeah.
That's great. Mm-hmm. That's great.
Well, for me, I think it would have been just one of those little theaters that booked the big show, and when we showed up, it just wouldn't physically fit in, and we had to have the show in the truck and turn it more into some stand-up material, corporate shows. But I don't have a particular theater in mind.
Name of trick routine that's caused the most embarrassment.
The most embarrassment was the Gamola levitation when I couldn't get it up because someone unplugged something.
Yeah, I'll tell you something after about that. I always wanted to go, but that was the one I always saw in the magazines. That's the one I always wanted. That's amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for me, it was the 1-inch hole illusion, where I get pulled through a 1-inch hole while I'm doing a costume change, and my top piece broke. So I was trying to hold it somehow and tightening it in the box while the number continued. And all I could do is I could grab the two ends, hold it on my back, and usually we do a very flourishing, lifting me out, and we strike a beautiful pose. And I just looked at Ted and said, "Help me up." So he lifted me up and out, and I just exited stage right, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.